Listen, if you're taking a moment right now to watch this video, then obviously there's something in your life you want to change, improve, take to the next level. There's an area where you want real results. What I'm doing is not just about inspiration. Certainly we need to be inspired. We need to find our passion, but it's also about strategy. Right now, I really want to just give you an idea of how we can get you results in the areas of your life that really matter to you most. And maybe some areas where you made a change, but the change didn't last. And maybe show you why it didn't last and how we can get lasting results. Why people who go through our programs, you often use the phrase, life was never the same again after they experience this. Here's the challenge. People talk about change all the time. And what I tell people is, change is automatic. You don't have to work on change. Whether you want to or not, your body's going to change over the years. Your relationships are going to change. The economy clearly is going to continually change. Businesses are going to change. So everything's in constant flux. We like to pretend it's not, but it's happening automatically. So you don't have to work on change. Change is automatic, but progress is not. If you want to make progress, you need a plan, a simple strategy, and some ongoing simple habits to get the result you want. And you've got to measure yourself so you make the progress and end up where you really want to be. So let me make this process really simple to give you an idea of what we do in all of our programs. I don't care what area of life you want to take on. We start with the end in mind. We ask you the very simple question of, what do you really want today? Most of us are so busy in our lives today reacting to our environment with the stresses of our businesses and our families and trying to take care of our bodies and everything else. And constantly we're interrupted. Today, you don't just have meetings and phone calls. You've got, constant emails and texts and people in a conversation. They don't even talk to you. They're looking at their little phone while you're having a speaking experience with yourself, basically. So today, with all these demands, all this stimulus, most of us don't take the time to stop and ask ourselves, what do I want today? What matters most to me today? What's going to make me feel filled up so there's more of me to give to everybody else that I love and care about and that I want to serve? Because if we don't take care of this part, the level of stress that most people live in makes them act and behave and do things that they regret in their lives. And life's short. We all know in a heartbeat, time goes by and 10 years from now, you're going to arrive someplace. The question is where? And if you don't decide now where that's going to be, and if you don't take control of it, you'll just be swept up with the energy of the moment, and you're probably not going to arrive where you really want to be. So think about it today. If I asked you today, what would an extraordinary life look like for you today? Extraordinary life is life on your terms, not mine, not somebody else's. If you come to our events, you'll see the diversity of people from, a guy like Steve Wynn who helped build Las Vegas, an unbelievably successful businessman who operates in a certain world. And then you'll see a young man with tattoos and earrings all over his body ready to rock and roll and take it to the next level. I mean, we serve people now in more than 100 countries around the world. I've worked now with 3.5 million people, actually 4 million people now. They just updated the numbers after the last 3 or 4 years, from over 100 countries. And we're helping with people with every area of their life. But it starts with everybody at the same place. What do you want now? Because what you wanted at 16 is different than 25 or 35 or 40 or 50 or whatever stage of life you're in right now. And a lot of times we just get caught up in this old story of living the life that got designed by somebody many years ago, not by you today. And here's what's really true. If you looked at your life today and said, life on my terms, this is what it would look like, what were the elements that would create an extraordinary life for you? There'd be an element of physical energy, wouldn't there be? A feeling of vitality, strength, being proud of your body, having the power to get things done. That's one of the 7 areas that we focus on. There'd be the area of your life that's quality called your emotions. I mean, where do you live emotionally? Are you in a position where you wake up every day just excited about the day? Not some phony, pumped up excitement. That's not what we teach here. You'll never have me teach you to go to your garden and chant, there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. We're not into that positive thinking BS. You may think so because I have a lot of passion and I do believe in inspiration, but I also believe in intelligence. I believe in seeing things as they are and then not making it worse than it is so you don't have to try. And then seeing it better than it is so you have a vision to go after and then figuring a way to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be and making it happen. So if you looked at your life and you said, the areas that matter, my body, my emotions, do I have the passion that I want for my work, for my relationship? Do I feel a sense of meaning in my life? Or have I allowed myself to get caught up in making a living and not actually design my life? That's what we change. And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take a lot of time. We do it in a way that's total immersion and fun. What's another area of your life that really matters? Clearly, the way in which you deal with your relationships. Most people today have settled in this area as well because in the beginning they had this passion and this love, and now it's a friendship at best. And people think, oh, only certain people are lucky enough to have that, but there are certain strategies and skills that make that difference. And when you apply them, you can change your relationship. You can transform by transforming yourself, and then they'll have an impact on your partner. An area of life that matters clearly to all of us is time. And most people have very little mastery of this. I don't mean checking things off your list. I'm meaning squeezing out of your life what matters to you most. Really shifting the way you deal with time. Your career, where is it now? Your work, or hopefully it's your mission. Where are you financially compared to where you want to be? And especially with some of the changes that have happened in the economies around the world. And then finally, where are you in your level of sense of meaning, of contribution, and your sense of celebration in life? These are the areas that really matter most. And we help you to sit down and define what this looks like for you today.
You know why people do what they do? The people who go after their stuff, what makes it worth it? It's got to be your passion. You got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love it. It's got to be what you are supposed to do. You want to sing, and even though they want to invite you to Carnegie Hall, you're going to sing to anybody that listens to you, including singing to yourself. I used to talk to my plants when nobody else would listen to me. You got to write, even if no one published your book, write, because that was given to you to do. You do what it is you're supposed to. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required. Just go out there. It's possible you can get what you want. It's necessary. If you want it, you got to go into action. You got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to fail and to succeed. You got to be willing to form and to develop new relationships. It's you. It's on you. You got to make that happen. Nobody's going to bring it to you on a silver platter and say, here's your dream manifested. No, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. Yes, right. And it's worth it.
Passion isn't in a person, it isn't in a place, and it isn't in a thing. It's something inside of you. And when you flip the definition of what passion is, and when you actually understand what you're looking for when you say, I want to discover my passion, then you'll be able to create more of it in your life. Okay, so let me give you a new definition of what passion is. You ready? Let me tell you what Gina's actually asking about when she says, I'm struggling to figure out my purpose and my passion. You ready? Here's your new definition of passion. Passion is simply energy. That's all that it is, okay? Passion is what you feel when you are energized and excited about what you're doing, okay? I want you to think about that for a minute. I want you to think about a moment in time when you felt incredibly passionate about something, okay? And why don't you in the comments tell me where are you watching from, and tell me about a moment in time when you felt incredibly passionate about what you were doing, about where you were, about the people that you were with. Describe that moment for me, because when you start to really investigate passion as energy, this is what you're going to discover. Those moments when you were super passionate, like I'm sure my kids would write down when they're doing community theater with all their friends. I would write down whenever I'm doing any kind of creative project with my team, I'm incredibly energized. Whenever I'm doing group exercise stuff, climbing a mountain, doing a 5K race, doing some sort of walkathon, I'm incredibly energized by that. Whenever I'm doing some sort of creative project, incredibly energized by that. Whenever I'm working with our video team, incredibly energized by that. Whenever I am coaching someone or giving advice, I am incredibly energized by that. And so what I want you to understand is that if you look back on your life, you have had moments where you have felt passion. Now, I'm being very deliberate in how I'm talking this morning on Coffee Talk because passion is a huge topic for so many of you. And you've been so focused on trying to figure out what job is going to make me passionate. What job is my passion? What is my purpose on the earth? I'm going to tell you what your purpose on earth is right now. Your purpose on earth is to figure out how to align your life so that you feel more energized and excited by it. That's it. And it begins with you following the energy and following your natural enthusiasm. You're not going to think your way to passion. You can't think your way to finding something that you feel in your heart. It doesn't work that way. You got to feel your way into it. It's inside of you. Do you understand? There's no passion out there somewhere. The passion is in here. And so what you have to do first is you've got to stop thinking that you're going to find it somewhere. And you've got to realize that passion is about unlocking something that's already in you.
Don't fool yourself in thinking you're going to get lots of energy back in your life if you're constantly wiped out because you're not sleeping enough. You're not rehabbing enough. You're not rejuvenating enough. I mean, if you are always go, 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 but you're never taking a moment to give your brain and your body that break, then you're never going to have the levels of energy that frankly you deserve. We know from science and neuroscience, you must be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep consistently. If you don't believe that, please go do the research. It's unanimous. It's 50 years of sleep research now. Your cognitive abilities go so much further down in terms of negativity, your ability to think, your ability to process when you're tired. And along with your cognition goes your motivation. You know, it's just like if you can't think, you can't get really motivated and excited about things. So please just get some rest in. Make sure if you're not getting enough of sleep, then meditate or nap throughout the day whenever you can find your spot. I don't care if that means you come home and before you go in to hang out with the kids, you just pass out for 15 minutes in the car. You know, just do something to rejuvenate yourself, because if you're not rested, the passion is going to go away. And you and I both know that we are living in a culture right now where everyone's burning the candle at both ends, and most of what they're doing isn't really necessary. They're just replying to everybody else and losing themselves in their lives. We got to get you back. And the way to get your energy back is first and foremost, please get some rest.